Hello, I'm Carolyn Herbert from the Finance News Network, and joining me from Whitehaven Coal to discuss its FY 2016 results is CEO Paul Flynn. Paul, welcome back.
Nice to be here, Carolyn.
Now, Paul, you've just reported your results for FY 2016. How does this compare to the same time last year, and what were the highlights?
Well, significant improvement over last year, that's for sure. Certainly full year profitability has to be the first point of call, I think, $20.5 million in net profit this year, which is a big improvement over last year. Volumes up significantly, costs are down, sales have been very positive, premiums for our coal increasing over time.
So how has safety performance been for the period?
Safety has been good. The company's grown substantially in size, so maintaining safety is always important. We've improved year on year about 6%. We think we can do better in 2017, so that's certainly be a priority this year.
And Paul, now to production. You've reported record full-year production of 20.5 million tonnes. Which projects were the major contributors, and can you touch on each of them?
Sure. Well, the standout for us in terms of year-on-year improvement has been Maules Creek, its first year of commercial production. In this year we did 7.3 million tonnes from essentially a standing start, which is great. Narrabri has done exceedingly well at 6.9 million tonnes of ROM, so that's certainly been very positive, but Maules Creek has been the big addition year on year.
So where are you at with approvals for the Vickery project?
We have Vickery approved for a 4.5 million tonne scenario. We are reassessing a larger scale option for Vickery, which we'll seek approval for soon. Most of the studies we've done around this larger option have been completed now. The remaining piece of our puzzle is really just to bed down the optimal rail solution for Vickery. And we think that'll probably take about another 6 months worth of work before we lodge that enlarged application.
And Paul, now to sales. How much coal did you sell and where did it go?
It's gone all across the world, 20.1 million tonnes I think in sales for this past year. On the thermal coal side, you can essentially throw a blanket over Japan, Korea and Taiwan. That's about 85% of our thermal sales. The met sales, which have been growing nicely because of Maules Creek entry into the fray, that goes to India, Japan, Korea, and we actually sold a bit of semi-soft into China in this past year unexpectedly, but an interesting development from our perspective. We generally don't sell coal to China, but to have steelmakers knocking on our door looking for the semi-soft out of Maules Creek was pleasing.
So what's your outlook for sales going forward?
For the new year, I think we'll be doing between 21 and 22 million tonnes for 2017. I think we'll reinforce that same geographic spread of sales that we've had in 2016. I think premiums will increase over last year, so that's certainly, coal prices have changed dramatically in 6 weeks. We finished the year an average of about $53 US. July was 61 on average, and so far in August we're about 68, so quite a marked change. Our premiums for our quality go over and above that, so we would expect, say 2 to 3% for energy over the top of that, and then probably about the same again for our ash premium. So yeah, looking good for the new year.
As you say, Paul, we've seen a strong turnaround in the price of coal over the past 6 months. So what's your outlook for the commodity?
I think there's good support at this level. So it's been a marked change. I think just some balance found in the supply-demand dynamic in the seaborne trade, which is good. We think that looks pretty robust. I think the supply side restructuring that's going on in China is definitely having an effect. So we see strong support for these sorts of levels for the next year.
And finally, Paul, Whitehaven Coal's become one of the best performing stocks in the ASX 200. So what's your focus for FY 17?
Oh, look, I think we've got to continue to do the things that have been the foundation for this improvement. Prices, obviously, we can't necessarily control that. But we're going to drive our costs even harder, so that's certainly a focus for this new year. We want to increase our metallurgical coal sales, and so that's definitely a challenge for our marketing team to try and drive greater penetration of that market. Our coals wash very cleanly, so our yield loss when we do that's very low, so the cost of washing is really low, but the margin you improve by selling at semi-soft pricing is a substantial benefit. So that'll certainly be a point of focus for this new year.
Paul Flynn, thanks for the update on Whitehaven Coal.
Thanks, Carolyn.